Hey everyone, and welcome to my portion of the symposium talk that the Communicats have come up with to detail homelessness and incarceration and solutions to them here in Lexington, Kentucky. So my talk is going to be based on the statistics behind homelessness in the United States and in Lexington, and maybe highlight some of the reasons behind that. And I'm going to break it up into two main points. The first one is to look at homelessness and incarceration and contrast between them, and the next point is to look at it from a more community-based perspective here in Lexington. So to begin with, point number one, I'm going to contrast homelessness and incarceration. In the United States alone, it's apparent that 1 in 50 children will become homeless each year, which is quite a remarkable statistic. While 50% of homeless people, that the general homeless population, have had some sort of history with incarceration, and that means thousands, if not tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people have had some sort of run-in with the law and have been homeless while that run-in has occurred. And these statistics are stark in light of this being the 21st century, being that we're so modernized, we have fundamentally set up so many systems for a lot of different people, but yet we seem to be failing the homeless. Many states have had a drastic increase in homelessness, and there is a graph by the Federal Prisons Bureau that will depict this. Within the past few years, with a 2015 study indicating a 60% increase in homeless families and a 28% increase in the general homelessness in Washington state alone. Another article in 2012 by the Population Reference Bureau states that countries that are scalable to the United States of America have an incarceration rate of 100 people per 10,000 people in the population. And this is really low if you compare it to the United States and their incarceration rate, which is about 500 to 689 people per 1,000 people. Which per 10,000 people rather, which is 6 times the incarceration rate of the next sizable country compared to the United States. These statistics, however, are forever changing. They're in a dynamic state because of policies and the natural stochasticity every year that a country, or the United States in particular, experiences with law enforcement and the amount of people that are homeless and engaging in activities, let's say. So multiple studies in 2008, 2011, and as recent as 2013 have suggested that homelessness precipitates incarceration. And what that means is that if someone is homeless, they are more likely to be incarcerated for certain reasons that I will elaborate further on in a couple of minutes. The study has shown that 5% of the general population has had a record of homelessness, and if you compare that to inmates who have 15% of them that have shown some sort of record. And what this statement means is that if you compare the two populations, the general public versus the incarcerated public, more people in the incarcerated public have been homeless, which means there is a tighter link between incarceration and homelessness than just being in the general population and homelessness. So let's look at how the statistics differ in our cozy city of Lexington, Kentucky, which is relatively small compared to the United States. Now, the Bureau of Prisons statistic page, which can be found online, details Lexington's incarcerated individuals. As of March 2016, which was last month, it appears that the two prisons in Lexington FMC, which is more of a medical center, and Lexington Camp holds 1,333 individuals and 271 individuals, respectively, which brings it to a total of 1,604 individuals. And if you compare that to the population of Lexington, which is approximately 308,000 people, which was from a 2013 consensus, it looks like about 520 people per 10,000 people are incarcerated each year, which is on the lower side of the United States statistics, but is a statistic nonetheless. Unfortunately, the government does not list the statistics that deal with the homeless people and the homeless population in federal prisons now. However, if we simply apply some of these statistics that we've talked about before, we can see that that approximately 802 people out of those 50% essentially of the incarcerated individuals are homeless, which means 802 people per 10,000 in Lexington, which is quite a large amount. And this is not even considering the fact that we have city jails which hold people overnight and cost thousands and thousands of dollars for the taxpayer. And there are a couple of reasons for this. This is point number 3. Homeless incarceration is due to such tiny reasons and such ludicrous reasons, some say, that it should honestly be non-existent by this point. First off, incarceration is usually due to begging, and this is just a byproduct of being homeless. You need to put food on your plate and eat to survive, and sometimes begging is the only way you can get that done. Another reason is due to large events being held in Lexington, where you have Keeneland and other such events being held. And this is essentially what causes homeless people to be arrested, is that they go and beg during these large events where thousands of people have migrated to the city for a while to see what's going on. And I hope my peers will do a good job at elaborating what's to come based on these solutions that we have planned as a group to facilitate the homeless individuals and make sure that they aren't really affected by large populations flowing in. Thank you.